Hey guys, welcome to Technical Services at B. Braun at our service center. Follow me and we start with our admin team. Hey guys, how's it going?
Here in admin, our first responsibility is to handle the inbound, which means that every package that's sent by the customer is dealt with by us. We receive all the packages from our inbound area, which comes through the main warehouse, and then we log each of those equipment, instruments or devices into the systems so we can tell exactly what we've got and who we've gotten it from. After we process it into the system, we pass it on to the appropriate technicians, ATS or AIS, and then they will get back to us with a quotation, which we will then send on to the customer and await their approval for proceeding with the repairs. Another major component of admin is dealing with customers via email or over the phone. They come with a variety of different questions, updates and requirements, and we try and liaise with them as effectively as possible to get their needs met. Why don't we go and take a look at ATS?
Hey guys, welcome to ATS. Escolab Technical Services Australia was established in 2008, not here at the service centre. It was back at Salisbury Road, but still in Castle Hill. Since then we have grown significantly, repairing all type of instruments, general instruments, neuro instruments, spinal instruments, all type of instruments.
Instruments come from all over Australia and from all different types of practices. We receive our infuser mats, perfusers, space stations, and all different kinds of instruments in the same way, and all are processed together so that they can then be put through the admin team as soon as possible. We make sure to mark which day the instruments were individually received so that we can refer to how long they've been in our system before they're returned to the customer. Each instrument is processed individually into the SAP system so that they can be recorded as either being for repair or BER and replacement.
Once a quote has been sent to the customer, we will put the jobs in here and we wait for the customer to come back to us with a PO number. Once we receive a PO number, they go into the next section, which is here. All these instruments have been approved, and then we start the repair process by one of our technicians.
Let's go ahead and take apart a pair of scissors. After the scissors are taken apart, we check for any additional cracks around the thread. We then go to remove the original etching to make sure that the surface is entirely clean before continuing with the repair. This also includes removing any scratches or burrs that may be on the instrument. We then bring the surface back to its original finish according to Escolab standards. After reassembling the screw, the cutting edge is resharpened and honed. We check again for burrs and scratches, and then the tips and sides are given special attention.
We got most common spare parts in stock. Usually they get shipped from Germany from Escolab, and they usually arrive within 7 days here in Australia. I'll show you a few to begin with. As I said, most common spare parts are here. Little screws, springs, ratchets, handles, anything you're looking for. Here, got that little piece for example.
All spare parts are made by Escolab. The final finish is then applied to the surface. We use our ultrasonic bath to make sure the instrument is cleaned of any particles or other pieces of debris. and then our final cutting test. All that's left now is to make sure that the instrument is properly etched.
Hi, me, Sebastian. That's how we do our etching.
The etching only takes a couple of seconds to reapply.
My typical day, collect repairs out of the trays, inspect them, and divide them into sections, and then start repairing them. The most common instruments that I do get are kerisons, scissors, and needle holders. When we do the assessment, we BAR whatever cannot be repaired, and mostly it's about frustrations in terms of the quality of the product that you intend to repair. So the lower grade quality is harder and more frustrating to repair than a good quality instrument. It's all the tooling, the machines that you use are all basic stuff, but what is required is technical aptitude and hands-on skills. As you can see, they're basically just screwdrivers and pliers, basic stuff, basic tools, but it's all about how do you apply these tools to the job. We all work as a team. I might come across an instrument where I've never seen it before, and I approach one of the senior technicians, and they would give advice, or we'd work through it together. Generally, I like complex repairs. Keep your mind busy, and it frustrates you, but when you're done, it's quite satisfying.
Now let's go and take a look at AIS. When a repair is approved, the admin team goes and collects all the spare parts that are appropriate for the repair. There are hundreds of spare parts, so that any given piece of the device can be replaced as needed. Each device is placed into a tray with its spare parts, so that the technicians can easily access their next job. Technicians then perform all of the repairs and prepare any orders. They update the disposables, mod data, and drug libraries. They also then perform final checks on the batteries. Once the repair has been completed, the device moves to the invoicing stage. All repair details are updated in ServiceMax and invoices generated through SAP. Documentation is attached to the pump, where it is then ready for shipping. All of our devices and instruments are then shipped via overnight packaging in order to make sure they reach the customer as quickly as possible.
I think every day here is different, so you can't exactly explain a typical day, but usually it starts off either I'll start with repairs or assessments. That's the first thing we do, so we usually check our little calendar at the front. Today I'm actually on repairs, so typically I'll start off by going over and grabbing a box. Usually I will type it straight into ServiceMax. I'll usually do a calibration, software upgrade, check that I've got all the parts. I also will transfer the estimate straight away, just so I know what I'm doing. And then I will move over to my workbench and start the repair. Assessments come with a lot of issues sometimes. It's a bit challenging, but I have an amazing team here that can help me out. We have Service Tool, which is our actual new one for our Space Plus pumps that have just come out. We also typically use countless different types of high bay. So we have versions currently on my computer, 7 up to 10. So different softwares have a different high base that it can correspond to. We also have our space update tool, which just allows us to do the software upgrade. I think on a daily use, these are my most common tools. So we've got power, ooh. And so we have all these different types of torques. We've got a 10, we've got an 8, a 6, and just a flat blade. Yeah, so these are our most common tools. Here we don't actually do any of the designing, that's all based in Germany, but we do have very thorough regulatory affairs team that make sure that we are keeping up with quality in the workshop. So we have things like gloves to make sure if it is like anything that's blood contaminated that we have to like make sure that we're being safe. So we also have our electrical safety strap, which grounds us while we are doing repairs, which is very important. We also have a mat here which also grounds. Each one of us has different backgrounds, if it's like mechanical engineering, electrical, and I myself is chemical. So it's good to collaborate when we're trying to problem solve issues. I think the most rewarding is definitely when we have something that's really challenging and we've been trying to solve a problem that's been, maybe it's taken us 2, 3, 4 hours to solve, when we actually solve that. And even when we solve that as part of the team, like, it doesn't matter if I have to ask someone a question. If we solve that at the end of the day, that's the most satisfying part. Every repair can be stressful, but it comes in hand. Once you do solve that, it's like the most satisfying thing, because even though we're working behind the scenes, we're still making an impact in the healthcare industry. And my mum or my grandma, they could end up being on that device that I've worked on, and quality is everything here. Yeah.
Thanks to everyone over at Castle Hill. Now let's go check out B. Braun of Vitam.
Welcome everyone again to our Linfield Renal Clinic, here with Arturo, who is responsible for servicing our dialysis machines.
I've been in this business for almost 30 years now, and I've been working for B. Braun now for 2.5 years. Most of the time working with machines, fixing the machines. The clinic submits a service request. Okay, with that service request, we ask them to provide a certain amount of information, so it helps us figure out beforehand what might be wrong. I will come into the clinic. Possibly, if I can try to fix it on the phone, I will communicate with the clinic. If not, I'll come in person and check the machine, start the machine in normal mode, try to duplicate the failure. Or if the failure is set, let's say it's a non-failure, I'll go straight to check that component and fix it or calibrate it or whatever is necessary. I think we have a good team. The most satisfying again is when I fix a machine and I know that machine is going to be used to treat a patient. And that patient is going to be well because of my work. So that's I love it, Of course, there's a lot of people involved in the welfare of a patient, but it's nice to feel, that little bit of part of me.
Well, this is how we wrap it up from our renal clinic in Linfield. Thank you very much everyone for participating, watching this video. I hope this is giving you a little glimpse what B. Braun Technical Services involves and what we are doing to protect the health and safety of our patients. Thank you very much. I'm sure I'm getting lots of questions and I'm looking forward to them. Thank you.
Oh no, I didn't see it.